I have the translation of the video where Soy Host calls out Vivian. He has a message for Vivian. The YouTube video is uploaded, and I'm going to translate it from Spanish to English. I have it here. I'm going to read it to you. If you want to see the video, go to Soy Host YouTube channel. I'm going to link him here in the description box so you can go to his TikTok page and you can access his YouTube as well. Good evening, hosters. First, greetings to my whole community. I hope you can excuse me. I want to send a message to Vivian. I want to send her a message because I think that when she blocked me from her TikTok live, she didn't like my questions. Apparently, answering questions bothers her. So, Vivian, I want to send this message directly to you. Since you sent your people out to block me from that live, just because you didn't like, of course, you didn't like my questions, I want to tell you, and I want to ask you a few things to see if you answer them. And by the way, dear people, he's talking to his followers, if you're interested in all of this, I think you will be next week. Next week, I'm going to reveal something that Vivian will not be able to deny, and neither will the Fiscalia, the prosecutor's office. We'll see if she could deny it anyway. I hope, Vivian, that you come out and deny it. I challenge you, deny what's about to come out. Your silence screams louder than any evidence, Vivian. When something is easy to prove and a person stays silent, what they project is that they have something to hide. That is not perception, it is pure logic. People don't understand why you stay quiet, why you seem so calm while suspicion keeps growing. Your calm just reinforces the idea that you prefer to avoid uncomfortable answers. Your lack of explanation smells like strategy, not innocence. Every day that goes by without you saying anything makes it look like you're buying time, waiting for the topic to cool off, something you and I both know won't happen. Someone confident in their truth doesn't stay silent like this. That's what someone does when they fear what might come out once the full story is on the table. If giving clarity about Valeria's case feels like a threat to you, that obviously raises more suspicion. If there was nothing strange about the Starbucks drink and the stuffed animal, you would have clarified it without blinking. But your cold, distant, sorry, completely indifferent attitude makes it seem like that detail carries a lot more weight than it appears. You say one thing and then you act another way. They mention you, they point at you, they question you, and your response is absolutely nothing. In a case where every piece matters, you choose to disappear right when we all know your words are key. And when I say disappear, I don't mean from social media. We know that the way that you're built, you can't survive without it. So no, this doesn't look like coincidence, Vivian. It looks like a strategy. And obviously, if the stuffed animal and the Starbucks were free of suspicion, we wouldn't be talking about this. Your refusal to answer leaves only one conclusion floating. There's something about the origin of those gifts that you don't want people to know. It's not that people are inventing things. It's logic knocking on the door that you refuse to open. Vivian, the question remains, and it's only going to get louder. Why won't you show where you bought the items? Where it shows at what time that you bought the items? What is it about this that makes you so uncomfortable, Vivian? What is it? Now, to my next questions. Because at this point, the coincidences don't look like coincidences. They look like patterns. Your cold, calculated demeanor makes you think nobody notices, but we all do. How do you explain arriving at Blossom so quickly, Vivian? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't match anything you yourself have said. Everyone else was still trying to process the news, and you showed up as if you had been warned beforehand. People run when they hear about a tragedy, sure, but they don't arrive at the same time as the police or the press. By the way, the journalist that we interviewed said Valeria was unalived at 6:24 p.m. The police arrived 30 minutes later. I arrived much later because it was rush hour, said the journalist. So how is it possible, Vivian, that you, who claim to live over an hour away, arrived at almost at the same time as everyone else? Answer that question, Vivian. The only way that's possible is if you had privileged information. How could you practically be there at the same time as the press? It's ridiculous. The press gets calls, alerts, reports. They have teams, direct communication protocols. But you? Who are you that you arrived with such precise timing? It's not natural. It's not normal. It doesn't sound like someone who ran when they found out. You always say you live an hour away, but that day magically you didn't live an hour away anymore? When it benefits you, you live far. When it benefits you, you show up in minutes. That's the inconsistency. That's what exposes you. Because if you truly lived an hour away with traffic and with ordering an Uber with at least a minimum of 15 minutes, with chaos, with blocked streets, you would never arrive at the same time as the media. And on top of that, that same day, you used traffic as an excuse for why you couldn't accompany Valeria. Convenient, right? That day you couldn't go because of traffic, but magically, during peak nighttime traffic with a crime unfolding, with the area collapsing, you arrived flying. You created an excuse for why you were not with her, but didn't think that you would later have to explain how you arrived to the scene and possibly fast. We didn't invalidate you. Your contradictions invalidate you. And answer this, Vivian. If you were supposedly going out with Valeria that night, why were you not dressed? Why weren't you ready? You spend ages doing your makeup on live. You who gets all dressed up just to go to the corner store.
I need ammo so
Yeah,
bad.
that day, you were in I'm not going anywhere mode. I'm chill. I'm relaxed at home. I'm not ready. I'm chill. I'm cool. So if you already knew that outing wasn't going to happen, then that doesn't sound like coincidence. It sounds like foresight. When a friend tells you you're going out later, you get ready, you get excited, but that day you seemed disconnected, distant, almost like you didn't care. That kind of indifference aligns perfectly with someone who already knew there wouldn't be an outing that night. So, Vivian, answer me. Your behavior isn't normal. Your timing isn't normal. Your calm demeanor isn't normal. Your excuses don't match your actions, and you know it. And that's why you stay quiet. Because if you talk, even a little, your whole facade collapses. Everything you did that day was strange, Vivian. And anticipation is not something innocent people usually have. I'm not saying you're guilty. I'm not a judge or jury, but sooner or later you're going to have to explain why you were where you were and why you seem so sure. Now, here's the most ironic, uncomfortable, and brutally revealing part. And I'm going to speak clearly because the politeness is over. We are talking about inconsistency so big that only silence can hold them up. A silence that screams suspicion. You were in the live from the very first second, right there, waiting for the expensive gift that was supposed to arrive for Valeria. But you weren't there out of concern or affection. You made that clear. You were there like someone waiting for the end of a movie they already know. Too focused on what she was going to receive and too little focused on Valeria herself. Valeria was uncomfortable, nervous, tense. She showed it with her voice, her eyes, her gestures. Anyone who really cared about her would have known something was wrong, but not you. You were entertained, curious when it suited you, focused on the surprise as if the show mattered more than your friend's safety. You kept her there. Innocently or not, you kept her there. You helped her emotionally with the topic of the gifts. That much is clear. Instead of telling her, Valeria, don't risk yourself, get out of there, don't open anything, don't accept anything weird, you played along. And it was as if the priority was for her to stay on live to reveal the surprise. That's not naivety, that's emotional negligence. And the most shameless part, you wanted the exclusive before everyone else. Your ego was showing even then. You said it yourself, that she tells me before she tells the others. As if it mattered at all when your friend clearly felt unsafe. Your priority was the surprise. And after everything happened, you couldn't even bring yourself to say that Valeria was shot. It's hard for you to say it. People might think, oh, it's because it hurts her. She was her friend. No. Your way of talking about Valeria's death is strangely detached. When everything happened, you said you didn't see anything because you were in the third row. I don't know what dimension that is. I don't know. You were saying you were busy, not looking at the screen, but at the same time claimed you were listening closely. How curious. You wanted the exclusive, but didn't want to see the ending? Why? Yet months later, magically, you claim you did see everything. You said, how would I not know what happened if I was there? I saw everything. Your own past self is your worst enemy, Vivian, not us. Honestly, posters, he's talking to his audience, take all the credit away from me. I don't even have to expose anything. Vivian exposes herself every time she speaks, he says. This whole I saw but didn't see thing, that's called selective memory, and that's not a coincidence. That's somebody adjusting their story as they go. Either you were paying attention or you weren't. You cannot be absent when it benefits you and a full witness when it benefits you in another context. That's not forgetfulness, that's strategy. And what's most disturbing is that you do it with a coldness that chills the skin. Do you think we called you the villain? No, you put that on yourself. That you put that costume on yourself. That day, you didn't act like a friend. You acted like someone with priorities, completely disconnected from reality. Someone who wanted to see what was going to happen, but wasn't going to stop it from happening. That's what it looked like. I'm not saying you're guilty. I'm not a judge or a jury, but that's what it looks like. And I want to be honest with you. This space has never accused you. But Vivian, most people who talk about you are not stupid. They're not fools. You think people are fools? They're not. They just don't have a microphone like mine. But if they did, trust me, they would say exactly the same things, and I support them in almost everything they say. Vivian, you were not Valeria's friend. You and I know that. You know that I know that. You were truly not her friend. And I know you won't answer any of this. But what's coming next week, you will have to answer to that. I'll leave it at that. Goodbye, hosters. As they say, I'll just leave this here and walk away slowly. Now pretend that I already left. Bye.